Hi, I'm Tom. I'm the vocalist of Cervus.
I'm Rogier. I'm the drummer.
Can you tell me a little bit about Cervus, about the band?
Cervus formed back in 2016. Started off as a jam band, and in the beginning we were called Sky Torpedo. Came together, drank some beer, 45 minutes jamming, and in 2018, when Rogier joined, we really focused on getting away from the jams and being more focused on songs. And I think the moment that Rogier joined, Sky Torpedo back then, which then became Cervus.
And so how did you guys all kind of meet, and how did you come in contact with Rogier also afterwards?
The way we met, we're all friends of each other. We all know each other mostly because of our jobs. Like we're all, I'm an illustrator, he's a animator, and the whole band consists of animators and illustrators. The genesis of the band was really kind of like this huge jam with like 15 people, and from those 15 people, 6 remained, and that's the way we kind of continued.
Oh, nice. So I guess aside from being audio artists, you guys are also visual artists. Does that come into play at all when you guys do music, or no?
I would say so, yeah. I mean, we do a lot of our own art, all our own artwork, all our videos. I do think it helps us like represent what we convey musically, stylistically, as far as atmosphere, whatever.
It's kind of like when you're a visual artist and going to music, it's kind of like putting those visuals and the emotions into, like, if we play music together, I think I always get like a visual in my mind, and I think when you are a visually minded person, you can kind of really make that connection easier with the music and the visuals, because a band always has to kind of think about, next to the music, about a video clip or a artwork. And the biggest advantage that we have, we can do everything within the band.
You guys have a pretty unique sound. How did that come about? What are some of your influences?
We're a band of 6 people. So 6 individuals, each with their own record collection, this whole collection of influences and inspirations and whatever. So I think between the 6 of us, we listen to every artist from the last century or so, really everything from like electronic artists like Aphex Twin and Chemical Brothers to the typical stoner rock bands like Black Sabbath and Copious and all that stuff.
It's really nice to hear that it's like 6 people contributing, and especially also being that you guys are creatives in your day jobs already. I can imagine that just kind of fuels you guys even more when you're making music.
It's an extra avenue to create, it's an extension of what we already do. But the cool thing is that we're doing it together, and especially when we are, performing live. Like when I draw for a living, it's very solitary. It's all, I'm very in my own bubble. And then when I come to the band, it's very much like this collaborative process, and I love it.
You guys are also a fairly young band who kind of also had to deal with the pandemic and stuff, with venues shutting down and stuff. How did you guys manage that?
The first gig that we ever played live was in Amsterdam, and it was the 25th of January on 2020. And you have to imagine, we were like ready, we recorded our first 2 songs as demos, and we went for it, and then everything just went like, everything shut down. But fortunately, thanks to Rogier, who can take over from me now, we were like, you know what? Like, if we can't play live, let's just record songs.
So you mentioned just then that you guys are kind of working on future projects. Can you tell us anything about that? How it's going? What's it sounding like?
Can we? Are we allowed?
Well, after Ignis, we released Cycles, and now we are currently working on our second EP. And It's called, the work title right now is Axis. So we're sticking to the short Latin format for some reason, just easier. But we're trying out some different things. I can't be really specific about it, but if I can give a hint, it's going to be much more in the vein of our last single, Cycles.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the main difference, I think, what we're trying to do now after the pandemic, during the pandemic, what we did was try to work on all these songs at home and somehow just keep working. And now we have the opportunity to really work as a band finally, like we always intended to do. So it's going to be more jammy, more vibey. We're going to respond to each other's or musical inputs more, I think, and I think that's going to be a huge difference.
So the first EP was much more like not in a negative way, but it was more like, because we were like more a part of each other, so we had to write everything more from a distance. And now we'll be able to much more gel together, and I think that's going to really, be very noticeable in our second offering.
Yeah, sounds really good, because I feel like then you could probably also feed off of each other's energies much more, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's more of a like a call and response type thing. You respond to someone's energy or inspiration or whatever, and you're like, oh, dude, let's do that. As opposed to trying to do your homework and try to construct a masterpiece, but it's different.
Exactly.
Nice. And what are some of your favorite venues in the Netherlands, and why?
Well, of course, because of the pandemic, we haven't been able to play that much, unfortunately. But we, the second gig we played at Hal 25, which is in Alkmaar. We got a great evening. I think seeing our track record, we had one gig, and then with the second gig, we played at this festival, and we were like the closing act. So the bar was raised, and we had to perform after this amazing band called Bismuth. They're from Nijmegen, a great band. Check them out as well. But I think right now our most, I'm speaking, I guess, for everyone, but right now is Studio DB's in Utrecht. It's a great venue. I would recommend all bands to, big or small, to really get into a Studio DB's. It's a great atmosphere. It's very much for bands. It's still local. It's still small, and the atmosphere is great. So Studio DB's in Utrecht.